Well, let's cross live then to our correspondent, Haxi Meyers-Belkin. She joins us from the Elysee Palace, where that meeting is about to get underway. Haxi, first of all, just tell us exactly what we're likely to hear from this meeting today.
Well, this morning's cabinet meeting here in the French capital is going to be dedicated exclusively to the fire that ravaged large parts of Notre-Dame Cathedral on Monday night. It's going to be primarily an opportunity for French President Emmanuel Macron to get his cabinet ministers to rally round his plans to raise funds for the reconstruction effort. We know that a number of private companies have already donated millions of euros to the reconstruction effort. Now Macron wants normal French citizens to delve deep into their pockets and come up with what they can to pay for what's going to be an extremely costly reconstruction effort. Now, cabinet ministers today are also likely to get an update on the status of the investigation. We know that some 50 investigators have already been interviewing dozens of workers belonging to 5 companies involved in reconstruction and restoration efforts that were already underway before the flames took hold on Monday night. But also today, possibly a chance for ministers to breathe something of a sigh of relief. On Tuesday, we heard numerous reports of the items that had been saved during the blaze, a number of priceless paintings, artefacts, and also the historic organ that exists inside the cathedral.
Actually, we were talking just before I came on air. You were telling me that later there's actually going to be a second meeting as well, if anything, potentially even more interesting in a way than the first one.
Absolutely. The second meeting later this Wednesday is going to be dedicated to raising funds for the reconstruction efforts and also on the reconstruction efforts themselves, how they're going to take place and who exactly should be called upon to carry them out. We have heard from a number of architectural restoration experts that the works could eventually cost well over 1 billion euros. That's an extraordinary sum. We have already heard of a number of private companies, private companies who've been contributing vast quantities of money to these reconstruction efforts. Bernard Arnault, who's the chief executive of the LVMH fashion group, him and his company have donated 200 million euros. François-Henri Pinault, the CEO of the Kering group, 100 million euros. L'Oréal, 200 million euros. And the oil giant Total, 100 million euros. So the money is coming in thick and fast, but there's no knowing just how much money is going to be needed when investigators have full access to the building. It's impossible to know right now the extent of the works needed for the sheer fact that large parts of the building are still inaccessible. Now, as far as the restoration efforts go, we've also heard a number of offers of help pouring in from around the world. The Vatican Culture Ministry, the Greek Culture Ministry too, pledging to do all they can to help France rebuild. And the Interior Minister here in France, Christophe Castaner, has said that France is absolutely dedicated to that mission. He says that France will be beside Notre-Dame's side as she recovers.
Actually, thanks very much. Haxi Meyers-Belkin, a correspondent joining us live there from the Elysee Palace.